Access denied.
Access denied.
Access denied.
Maintenance line. Access granted.
What do we have here? We've got God times the speed of light squared equals the thought. What is this derived from? It's derived from our equation we were talking about earlier. Thought equals consciousness times the speed of light squared. So what's the consciousness? It's God. Speed of light squared. We've rearranged it just a little bit, but it still works the same. In the form of thermal energy infused into the black hole equals the Big Bang. And what happens to this God consciousness? In the process of releasing this thought. Remember we talked about a release of thought, that in mass, energy is at rest. Well, in consciousness, thoughts are at rest. Well, we're taking that thought at rest. It's a huge thought. And this God consciousness, all the consciousness in the universe at peak level, compressed into one uniform entity. And it's going to release its thought at rest into the mass in the form of thermal energy. As you transition from the fifth dimension into the third dimension, it must take a third dimensional form. By being thermal energy, it causes the mass, black holes are millions of degrees cold, it causes that mass to heat up and expand out. What it causes the atomic forces to switch roles. And in switching roles, those atoms expand outward like that. Another part of this theory is that since it's a black hole, all celestial bodies, once they compress into the densest form of whatever they are, whether it's a neutron star, black hole, whatever, are spinning. And so the universe expands for two reasons: because of the switching of these atomic forces and because of the spin rate of the black hole. And I theorize that the God consciousness calibrates the spin rate of the black hole because the expansive force of the universe has to be so precise that if it's less than that precise amount of expansion, it'll just fall back into a black hole. If it's too much, it'll just expand out and it'll never form one star. So it has to be an exact amount, and I believe that's how it occurs. Okay, so we've had the basic theory of Graviton solution that we just done. And we have 4 pairs of forces. By having 4 pairs of forces, 2 substances of equal amounts, we can easily explain what caused the Big Bang and how the universe can occur again. It's not complicated, but even Einstein said it would be simple. And I think for a lot of you who maybe believe in spirit and consciousness, you can watch something like this and say to yourself, you know, that is a nice explanation for the universe. It's simple and it makes sense, you know. I like simple designs. My father was a mechanical engineer, and he told me at one time, because I was always asking him all these questions, he says, think in terms of what's the simplest way you can achieve something, but yet it works correctly, it works good. And so I took that idea in developing this theory. One of the things that I did was I wrote a movie script where I have a professor who presents this theory to the faculty, the physics faculty, and there's mixed reaction from different people, and a lot of people don't like it, the faculty doesn't like it, and he's talking about, he wants to do these experiments to prove that the first prediction of quantum magnetism, which we talked about earlier, but he wants to do it with people, and they're like, no, we don't want any part of this thing, you know. And so he does these experiments, and he proves that depending on the person, remember those 2 spectrums of understanding intellect and connectedness love, that depending on where those people can be plotted on those spectrums, you can see that their thought levels are higher from individual to individual, and starts creating a picture of this theory, an explanation of higher thought levels as we evolve to higher thought levels. Anyway, he's shunned, and but because of these experiments that he does, the university kicks him out. But the whole world's just amazed by this, and it's throughout the news. And however, there are certain religious extremists that are really angry about this theory because for some religions it goes against their strict belief system, and so he starts getting chased by these people. So him and his wife take off, and they buy a boat in the Hawaiian Islands, and they set sail for Pitcairn Island. So on the way to there, then it transitions into some of these ideas that I have of what will happen in the future. And then there's a couple in the year 2095, which is them reincarnated. And there's a machine that they go to in a mall where they don this equipment and they can look back at previous lifetimes. And they can work their way back through different lifetimes and see that they were at lower thought levels back then. Not all lifetimes are great, you know. Some of them are good, some of them aren't that great. You know, some of the lessons are hard. And so it's an exciting movie script. I think it would be a great way to get this theory out there if somebody wanted to do it. And so that's one of the things I wanted to talk about here is if you want to contact me about that script, contact me at let's use Perfect Universe 4, the numeral 4, at yahoo.com. Perfect Universe 4 at yahoo.com. Email me there if you have any interest in that. I have it all set up. I can transmit it.